Okay. We should be going. I think. So this chili oil. Chili oil. Yep, look to be good. Right. Right, let's just make sure. Right, I think. There we go. Hey Nathan, how are you? Happy New Year, buddy. Just making sure everything's up and putting the links in. Right. We are chilling and good to go. There we go. Yeah, man, everything's good. I've literally been rushing around, like just got back. I put this on before I went out, and then I literally just got back like 10 minutes ago. But this has been on for about an hour, just about. Yo, Casper. Right, Dave, how's it going? Oh, brilliant. I'm glad the mic's working and all good. I think we are home, we're chilling. Let's load something into the mighty. Yeah, good stuff. Just seeing that, Casper. Love to hear it, bro. Right, there we go. Good evening, Sean. Let's get the device heated up. What are we going for? Go for a wedding pop. That's what we're going for. Don't need that hot start. So, how's everyone's weekend been? Been relaxed? I can't lie, I got stuck in that snow. Go. I've been struggling to get the stream link like set up early so I can post it, but I've got to work out how to do that. I know it's possible. There we go. Device is heated. Just not completely sure how to do it, because then it would be quite good to have all that set up ready to go, I feel. But yeah, chill. Smack does it. Cool, I'll ask him, because you can set up like premieres and stuff. I know that, but I'm not completely sure how the whole link thing works. But that'll be quite good. Or even if I could have it as like the videos come out separately, which is great, because then it archives the videos. But I want it not only to be videos, but if I could make it like the same link, maybe. Or I don't know if I've got to, do something different. But that would be quite good if I could have maybe the same link. I don't know if that's a thing. Christmas gone. Get the flowers. Yeah. Do you know what this Christmas and New Year kind of went by so quick. I didn't even really go through as much of the eating stage of it as I wanted to. I find this year has gone by really quick. It's quite crazy, really. I'll definitely contact SmackDown and find out how he does the premiere stuff, because I'm not sure. So the other mic died, so I'm using the other one in the pack. So I don't know what charge was like. I did put it on before, but if anything cuts out or whatnot, do let me know. I'll try and get it sorted. Yeah, bro, you had some mad like food going on this year. I saw that. Looked nice though, especially that today. I find I was just rushing around a lot at Christmas. Like I was trying to just get stuff done. It's like not really the time of year to be trying to get stuff done, but I just felt like I needed to get stuff done this sort of time of the year. I don't know. Oh yeah, no, I completely agree with you, bro. Like food just literally makes the world go round. I'm a sucker for a good like cake as well. I can't lie. Like when the munchies hit, it's got to be something like I don't know, just some sort of cake, like even a donut. I don't know. This is kind of starting to move. I've noticed that, but it's just not quite there yet. So we're, you know, trying to work out the timings. Oh, mate, meringues. Could have like eat a mess all day. Oh, lemon meringue now. So, has everyone got their script in? Everyone doing good? Is anyone a little short? Because I know the holidays are a nightmare. But I think everything's starting to get on track. It's a shame that my volcano, my globe cover hasn't arrived yet. It's delayed, so I'm hoping it'll be here tomorrow or Tuesday, and then I'll be able to use that. The older yeah, no, for sure. Like time goes by so much quicker. I feel like the more you're doing in the day and the more responsibilities you got, the quicker the time just goes. Like today has just gone by so quick. So has anyone got any medicals in mind that they're looking to try? Any upcomings or maybe new ones? I know that the non-irradiated 4Cs are becoming a bit more available. I'm hoping more clinics jump on the 5 gram pouches because I feel like that would really work. Like that could get a lot more. I wouldn't say like returning interest in the strain, but I think if someone could work out, right, this one works well for me, so I'm actually going to go and get another 10G. They've got 15, but if you've got 5G or something that doesn't work for you, up to 10G, it's a lot better. Like so overall, um, yeah, exactly. If they can do 15, they can do 5. That's what overall. I don't think we should be sat with all of that medication if it doesn't work. So I think grams need to just become more readily available throughout dispensaries. And I can't really think of why it would be such a hassle, because I mean, what, they've got to tick an extra box to say it's packaged in a different weight. It's all had the same test. It's the same medication and material on the packing. So I can't really see what the big deal is. Super G, 5G, trying to get my script sent over then. Yeah, I think my Medica is kind of very uniform, 10G, 15. I don't know if they'll branch off, but I know that there's a few other clinics that are taking advantage of the newer weights, which I do feel they should be more readily available. If you've got 5 grams of something that doesn't work, then that's better than 10. And ultimately, we're trying to find what works for what we need, and that's probably the best way of doing it. Ooh, frosted lemon angel. I was trying to get my hands on that. Is that the grow one? My clinic don't dispense that one, but I've tried so many of the grows. But that, I think there's only like 2 that I didn't get around to trying, and that was one of them. It used to be on formulary, but that one's always interested me. That one, I've not seen a lot about it. Do let us know, bro, what that one's like, because that one's quite an interesting one. The sour cherry punch got a lovely flavour. Um, that's something. What's more important to you, or like preference wise? There's not a wrong answer, but is it percent? Is it flavor? Because like, I just find if you've got that flavor, then you're getting better results from your medication. I don't know. That's just me. But stuff like, yeah, sour cherry punch, the Peace Naturals stuff. I've had GMO Tropical Rain, like, all got nice flavor profiles, really good smell. Yeah, agree. Flavor effects. I just think I've had some teeth 29s, 30s that have been minimal affecting, and they've just had like no profiles to them. But then I've had like some 17, 18% that have had really nice flavor and that profile, and it adds to the depth of your symptoms. Yeah, for sure. Terps flavor percent, because I also think that's another thing with the indica sativa, where this flower's been so uh crossed so many times and whatnot. I know that there used to be visual differences, but now you kind of tell based off of the terpene profiles. Glass Farm, Yellow Diesel. See, I'm starting to hear that Glass Farms are starting to work out their stuff. I've not heard a lot about the actual taste aspect of it, because I'm not sure if they're going to actually recover after the kind of flagship launch that happened. It was a bit of a concerning launch, if I'm honest, with their freezing method. Frosted old. Do you know what? Is that Frosted Lemon Angel has been on Medbud's site for so long at this point. I think it's been a good like 6 months at least. Like, Yeah. Have you checked the date on it, Casper? Because that can tell you a lot. Um, I haven't seen the stock actually reach a low point on that, and it's been on there for like 6, 7 months. Yeah, it's one of them. I don't know. There's like there's another thing that I'm trying to look into as well, is with irradiation versus like the time it's sat, because I feel personally irradiation of flour definitely mutes the flavor and taste, and especially if you've already got one that's slightly um on the mute side, you're not gonna um win with it. So I'm trying to work out what the more important aspect is, especially when they're moving um, between country to country for test purposes and whatnot. Glass farms first. Yeah, I'm gonna try the Super G Citra. I missed the mark on that one, but I've got the tropical rain and sour cherry I've had by them. Glass farms first class funk. So it seems like some of you are rating the glass farm stuff, especially the newer stuff. It sounds like it might be worth a try. That's interesting, because I know just from the pictures and whatnot and videos of people on the first sort of stuff they were doing, it was like polystyrene. So that kind of just pushed that right back from me. But it looks like it might be worth a try in the near future, for sure. First Lemon Angel expiring May 2025. That's interesting, because I've not seen that stock go down to low, and that's been on there for ages. Unless they just haven't needed to update it because they've just been constantly bringing it to the market. I'm not sure, but yeah, from the sounds of it, it does sound old, even before Casper said that. When you said above, I just don't know. Yeah, it's a shame I can't get my hands on it really. Sometime maybe, but um, I find sometimes some medicals are so far gone, the Bovita takes a while to actually regulate. But I'm thinking of doing a bit more stuff with a hydrostone, because I do have humidifiers and monitors in all my jars, so maybe I might do a couple of bits with that. That can help. That's pretty crazy. Seems like they stock them like they stock shelves, which I'd imagine, newest at the back, oldest at the front. Yeah, I think Christmas, New Year is kind of the time they probably just stop growing a lot of these places for a minute, because there's going to be people around the clock regardless. People work around the holidays, but um, there's just not going to be as many, and it's a way to clear out inventory and get rid of a lot of it. Um, just a heads up, if any of you have seen it and you like the wedding pop triangle, there is one that's pretty much Cure Relief. It's Find, and it's 5 on the G. It ain't too bad. Um, Newt's Bud, yeah, Newt, completely. Talking about glass, we'll be back. Yeah, I'm kind of like thinking about trying it, to be honest, if I'm being completely real. Oh, Tiger's Eyes. Oh, that's a shame because the old bash, I had the old bash, and that was really nice. That one. Um, I was a bit disappointed with a couple of the new Herd Aid stuff. It's a shame, really, because I rated a lot of their older stuff, like their Government, their Chapel of Love, and the Tiger's Eyes old batch were phenomenal, like through and through. Last Farm Tangerine Boost second was great. See, it sounds like they're picking up the slack from when they started. Then maybe I might order one, give it a trial because I don't want to order I won't want to order too many. They do have a couple that sound like they could be helpful for me, and that's the thing. So it's kind of a bit like, yeah, it could be, but also I could just get something that is completely unusable, and I just I don't really want to risk that when I could just spend a bit more for something I know is going to be good. Um, Chicken Blizzard. I don't know. I haven't tried any of the non-irradiated stuff yet. They've literally just come by in my clinic, and I'm halfway through the month at least. So I will be hoping to try some of them. You tried the non-certified curly? Do you? Well, this one I find is it's worth the 5 on the G. It's definitely not something that's gonna knock your socks off. Like the smell is just very mute. It's very subtle, taste wise as well. But if you're looking for that sort of profile, it does hit the mark with effects. So personally, I wouldn't get it all the time, but it's definitely better than the 690 variant because ultimately it is quite a forgettable strain regardless. Um, Smack said the wedding pot was dog. I haven't watched anything today. Um, I did. I have been using it, and I did like do a bit more documenting on it. It is forgettable, but for 5 on the G, and I'm getting effects. I can't fault that, but yeah, it's not something I get again. It is very forgettable, and it is mediocre. It's more of a mixer kind of thing. It's like a Tilray, if I'm honest. Um, I use them more as like fillers and all that and stuff, but yeah, some of these strains they might not be the most flavorful and all that, but if the effects are there, that's what that's what I find is the most important thing for me personally. So yeah, all right, it might not be the best quality, and I will call that out. But if the effects are there, and I can save that extra like £1.90 for something that does help in some circumstances, I'll do that for sure. But it isn't something I'd always be getting for sure. It's not. It's nothing like that. Um. Yes. I don't know. I haven't tried any of the big nasties or whatnot. I heard they're kind of like social media, but it's like it looks nice, but then it's just completely dead all round. Other than looks, so that's kind of another thing I've stayed away from. Um, and I don't completely ridicule based off of reviews. I know that everything's subjective, but if the overall quality is so bad that people can't even put it in their vape, like that kind of just says it all. For me, what's your thoughts on the amount of flavors from the Irradiated 4C. Do you know what? I'm getting some quite nice flavors. I find the sour cherry to be really nice and flavorful. The GMO tropical rain, if I'm honest, I haven't got an opinion on it yet. I haven't really used it. I've only had it like once through the vape, and that was through this. And I like to get more of my opinions on the bolus and then come back to this, because for any of you who don't know, I'm waiting on the cage for my glass, and I'll start using that more on stream. But I use the bolus thermal twist, and that's how I get a lot of the reading on the flavors. So I've been really enjoying them, if I'm honest. So this is kind of took a bit of a backward step, but I might start using it again soon, and I'm thinking of moving it elsewhere so it's not going to be really loud, and I can use the volcano a couple of times now and again. But overall, chicken, I think that the 4C Labs and Peace Naturals are sort of the front runners at the minute. Aurora, I feel they're doing okay, but their last couple, like the Pink Diesel, Cosmic Cream, really lacked for me. So that's pushing them into a bit of third place. Um, yeah, that's just my opinion. I just feel like they're setting a good bar. Um, yeah, that's completely true with the taste, each their own. Because everyone's got different tastes. I completely agree with you. Whereas something, might not be great for one, it's good for another. I've had but yeah, I've had some pretty good experiences with the stuff I've had from 4C at the minute. And I have looked over the GMO tropical and it looks lovely. I just haven't actually used it. I do like the subtle effects on this wedding pop in the vape. I'm using this right now. I'm on 170 now. I'm just gone up to, and there's that subtle earthiness, but it's not anything crazy. Um, yeah, and it's mellow. It's relaxed after a long day, busy. It's just trying to have that. Problem is with this is when the temperature completely drops off, you literally are just stuck with just hot air. It's not really one of them that gradually drops. I'm thinking of the last couple of streams. I've been ending them off with a diner. Maybe I will end the stream tonight with. Shall I end the stream with a volcano? I literally haven't used it in so long. I can't remember the last time I used it actually. Yeah, it'll be about a month ago at this point, because that's about how long I've had the bolus. It's all rubbish. I'm sick of low quality. Yeah, there's a lot of really dry stuff that takes a lot of time to actually get life back into them. So there's a lot of kind of waiting, having it in jars a lot. The thing for me is, I just think to myself, I kind of know at this point the brands to go for. I'm not, but I do like trying these cheaper ones because it gets a read. If the effects work for me and I can save a bit of money, at the end of the day, I'm using this for medicinal benefits. So if I can save a bit of money month to month, I'll go for that as well. Don't get me wrong, there's a couple of good ones. But I haven't tried the non-irradiated 4C yet. I've only had two of the non-irradiated, and they've both had lovely flavour. My ones have Peace Naturals, no taste to the first batch. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame that because I had all of them the first batch, and they were all lovely. So that's a shame. I know they've just come back in stock, so probably get them and maybe do some sort of re-review, have a chat about how they're doing. Because the effects on those were quite good, especially the wedding cake. That's such a shame though about the 4C as well. Like really, because the two that I've had are lovely. There's always room for improvement somewhere, but overall, that's a good point. I haven't thought about that, despite it's the most obvious thing. Look for something that's grown packaged same place. Yeah, I'm gonna have a little look at that a bit more closely. I'm gonna grab the Super G because that's the only one I didn't get, and that was the one that wasn't in stock at the time. So that would be nice, especially if it's nice. Multi-person glass. Ooh. When you say whip, do you mean like the shisha tube that you've got on the Azier? Because for me, I've never got on with like the tubes. I can get on with the bags on it, but the tubes just always give me that kind of like chemically sort of plastic taste. It's a bit weird. Yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies in this space. Um, I cannot disagree with that. Like that is factual. We definitely need more of these companies. I feel like um, there's a lot of knowledge that can be learned from these legal grows, and I don't know the ins and outs, but I just don't feel like they're learning kind of enough from them. Should I do that end the stream with a volcano hit? I haven't used that in quite a while. Stav, what do you mean change the fan? I haven't ever messed about with this thing. I've only ever just loaded it up with the caps and away I've gone. Um, yeah, no, I do completely agree. I feel we need kind of more understanding of the process, and maybe if there's ways that the process could just be cut down just even that little bit. Because the thing is, it's I don't know how it's going to work, but I feel the testing needs to all be done at the same place. It needs to be they as they're trimming, then they take part the first bit that's been trimmed for testing, and then keep going on there. Like, um, I feel there's a lot of things that we could be more in the loop about. Um, that would be beneficial to everybody. Easier. I haven't I got to look into a couple of more of these desktop devices. But at the minute, I'm looking to more portable. But that Azier looks really cool because I know Casper's got one. I've just never got on with like the tubes. That's the thing that kind of shifted me away from it. If I take a second to reply, it's just because I'm trying to make sure it's all caught up. Some of it takes a minute. Grow hydro, series budgies, unclean. Often flu effects. Yeah, I see. I'm not sure, and quite frankly, I don't like to comment on things I'm not completely sure about unless I'm trying to find out the answer. That's why I'm commenting on it. I don't know. I feel they need a bit more transparency in the space. Or the bags more. I didn't know you could put bags on the Azier. See, that's what I mean. I didn't know that because these are like some of the reasons why I didn't get some of these devices. So it's actually it's good to find out. Hey Stoner, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great weekend. Sunday, chilling. Just one of them relaxed vibes. What's everyone medicating on? Anything? Nothing? Hey, that's better than 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 5. What's the ones first off that aren't too great? We're trying to figure out what we're up against. We've been chatting about that, about quality. Oh, Super G, are you rating that? Yeah. See, you just saved me there because I had the sourdough wrote up on my next one, and I got a grade, a cosmic, and I found the pink diesel to be quite the same. Um, so that's Super G. I'm thinking of I'm giving that one a go. There's been a few good things heard about that one. I got two of the irradiated 4Cs, and they're really nice, absolutely lovely. And I feel like they're front runners in changing the way that the game goes, which is exactly what we need. There's quite a lot of inconsistencies in the space, and there's a lot of back and forth. So hopefully we can get more of a understanding of what's going on. Yeah, do you know what? I'm gonna try and get a few of them 4Cs as well. They've got the non-irradiated range now with my clinic. They weren't in stock at the time. They were on the announcement page, but it's pretty cool that they've got them in now. So hopefully they'll still be in stock. I know that some of these strains come in and just leave like as quick as they've come in. It's pretty crazy, but I understand it as well. I don't know about Montu personally. if somebody else does, hopefully they could help you. Super G's your favorite for irradiated. Ooh, sounding good. There's a lot of good vibes about the 4C. That's the only one of the irradiated I haven't tried, Paul. So thank you for that. That is going on the list. Actually got from what a few of you have told me and whatnot and recommended to me. Delta Haze has been a recommendation, and Suds by 4C has been recommended highly so far. So not sure about those. No, I don't know anything about Montu. Don't buy Noidex. I've not been able to even access them. They're kind of just, yeah. Cool. Sorry, you see me look down a lot. I'm just reading the chat. If you see me look down a lot. Best anytime MC, the Super G, yeah, brilliant. That's going on the list. Because all these recommendations are highly helpful. You know, that's why I started doing this, because it's not about the effects. I kind of outline roughly how it benefits me, like only a little template. But it's all about the terpenes, and for me, flavor, it adds to those effects and the way that you feel strain to strain. So, you know, all these recommendations and talk about all this is information. It's learning. It's important stuff to talk about. So appreciate all of you. Great cream cakes, nice and fresh. Oh, that sounds nice. Again, that's something that they had Quest Bubble Bath with mine, but they haven't had the grape cream cake. That's another thing that I'm thinking of talking about, is just maybe in a short or something at some point, about the whole predator bug scenario that some places there's videos about and whatnot. And I don't want to go into any detail right now because I've got to look into it a bit more, but it's been happening for a little while. These videos have been circling around, and you know, predatory bugs have been used in growing all sorts of things for years. So there's a few things that need to be done right with it, but you know, same. I had Cureleaf's Gorilla Glue for a hot while back now, probably about 6 months ago. That was fine, and the bubble bath, that's completely fine. And quite frankly, they have been two very tasty medicals for me. I found them very effective. So I don't know if they've just added to the effects. No, all jokes aside, though, I don't know. I think that I got. See, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the full details. I just know that it was Quest, Bubble Bath, and Cureleaf Gorilla Glue 4, but there was not a time or a batch on the Cureleaf, and the Bubble Bath was the same one that I had. and I didn't have anything on mine, so I couldn't personally, um, you know, act on that. But there's no reason why there wouldn't be. Like, predator bugs have been around for ages. I'm not defending it. There's definitely got to be methods in keeping it all clean and sterile and making sure they monitor what's going on. But I understand both sides of the coin, and it all depends where it's being produced. There's all different. Just because it's unlicensed in this country as a medicine, it's got to be done privately. It's not unlicensed everywhere else, and it's going by the license of that country. So, it's up to then the discretion of the dispensaries to stock it. If it's allowed in the country, it's allowed. So that's the thing. If they're using predatory bugs, um, they should also mention it, I believe, because indoor and outdoor grown are different, and if people really don't want to be using medication that stuff has been treated with in that way, then that's also like fair enough in a way. Some people's got weaker immune systems than others, and other sort of health stuff. It being used to make it is fine, but being in medication isn't. No, I get that as well, and there's definitely quality control issues across the board with a load of places. Um, I was just very surprised of the visibility, because I literally I was looking everywhere. I was scouring, and I just wasn't finding much other than text. So it was one of them things that I would have liked to find out a bit more about it, but there wasn't any batch numbers. I just know that the bubble bath was around the same time that I had it when it first came out, but the Cure Leaf one, I had no idea. There was just, I didn't see anything that was sitting that I actually could say, right, that is the thing. When I was going by my personal experience, I couldn't say that. If it's something's proper been reported by loads of people, and we know, um I think that it should be refunded then, if that's the case. I'm just I'm just not sure what the actual regulations are completely around predatory bugs and using them in grows. It would be interesting to find out more about that. Brilliant. That's such good news, Stav, because it is mad. Um, maybe I was just lucky. I don't know. I give it that proper thorough look over, and I had nothing. I had clean stuff. It was good. It was fine. So, my personal experience, I couldn't comment on it. Strawberry Growl, yeah, that I love the Strawberry Growl. Good replacement, that one. That was a really nice one. Oh, the lava lamp's moving now. We got movement. There's always going to be talk about different rumors, and some of which some people have, but then it's blown out of proportion. So you are right there, Stoner, completely. Um, Set from when it came out, it's believable. Of course, it's a practice, but there's been a couple of questionable things that have been spoke about in the medical market, which quite frankly, the main one being the psychosis one that they've recently done about BM versus medical. There was an article about, but I'm still looking into all of that stuff, and maybe I'll cover it. I just don't like talking about something that I don't really know anything about. So you know, they're right to be skeptical. Yeah, for sure. And if you think there's going to be something up with your medication, you're consuming it at the end of the day, and you want it to be clean and safe. So if you've got stuff that is in it that isn't safe, it's a no-brainer. You just don't want it, and quite frankly, you should be refunded. So that is so good that that was sorted. What happened with the Noidex thing? The thing that I heard is they were making a more affordable range, but then I didn't hear anything else about it being widely available. So I don't completely know much about Noidex. I've never actually really been able to, you know. Oh, what, like lineage in the sense of like the genetics and all that? Well, how are we supposed to know if it's helpful? So the point of being a medical patient is to work out what helps and what doesn't. So that kind of just makes it like it's a mystery box, really, doesn't it? Yeah, like kind of makes you feel like you're buying a mystery box. You don't even get to choose the category of mystery box, whether it be comics, trading card, whatever. You know what I mean? That's just for me. Um, that's very strange to do. I understand that they're trying to make it more um, of a medical thing in the sense of they're coding instead of string naming, but they're putting the string name in still on the titles. You still got to know what you're getting, um, because that's how you identify these medications, whether they come from a medical facility or not. These strains have names and they've got to be identified. At the end of the day, you can't say Gorilla Glue 4 is now named um, JG8. You're not going to know what it is, are you? If they're going to do that and not actually tell you it's Gorilla Glue 4. So yeah, I agree that they can do that with the packs and put codes and start making the medication more of a compound looking name, but we still got to know what we're getting, because that to me doesn't seem like it's actually targeting the medical benefits of the patient. If you don't know what you're getting, that is literally just a mystery box. So that no that doesn't sit right at all with me. If that's the case, that's crazy. I've just been in the dark with Noidex. I've never been able to get my hands on them or whatnot. So is Satellite? That name rings a bell. Don't they do a lot of the oils, like the actual oils, not like the vapes or anything, but the oils and like getting prescribed pinkers and doctors saying you're not allowed to know what you're taking. Exactly. It doesn't make sense. I'm not actually sure how they're able to get through with that. It's that's strange. Do they do dry flower then as well, the Sassaline brand? Because I thought that they were just the can oil. Put on the heater, it's getting a bit cold. That to me is crazy. I'm gonna definitely have to do a little look into that Noidix thing, that because that's just crazy to me. What do we think? Should we use the volcano? I haven't opened it in a while since getting the thermal Swiss, so I think maybe we will fill up. That will not be used for a minute. Oh, I do like a white widow for daytime. That's proper helpful. I quite like the Tilray White Widow. Actually, that had a nice flavor profile and smell. We need. What are we going for? Maybe go for a banana. Do you know what Tilray? Tilray sometimes has surprised me. I've had quite a few Tilrays because I call them fillers, and they are helpful with effects. But some of them have been quite tasteful. Like the White Widow actually give me like a pumpkin spice sort of Halloween fall vibe. It was really nice actually. Along with the effects, I find it to be really helpful. Yeah, King, do you know what? A good White Widow. It was one of the first strains I tried. I started around 8 years ago. Back then I just thought all cannabis was cannabis back then. Tilray Perps, yeah. The Perps one my top one, but it was up there. I want to get Galaxy Walker OG again. That one was quite a nice one actually. Wasn't too bad, that one. Oh, them static things. I want to get more. If anyone's got ideas, I want to put something more like plant vibes, maybe something else around. I don't know. Just if there's any ideas in the background, I'm all for like hearing suggestions. So plasma ball. I'm gonna have to look at them. I think I know what ones you're on about. That's like, yeah, they're them circular things, and if you touch them, all the spikes come towards the place you're actually putting your hand or something, right? But yeah, let's. I loaded one in there. What one did I even load in? I loaded this one, banana. Keep that there. Okay, so let's get some heat in it. So we just gonna heat that already. It's not gonna do that until towards a bit more the end stream. A little, still got a bit more on this, but I'm gonna definitely look at a couple of stuff for background and the desk area. How's volcano compared to thermal? Do you know what? It's kind of a completely different thing. I can kind of compare it. I personally prefer the thermal twist for a lot of reasons, because I get a lot more flavor out of the pools I get. That heat, despite the heat is more in your Celsius, where it's heating a lot more evenly and quick and slower, than what the volcano is doing. It feels like you're drawing more heat instead of, I don't know the best way of describing it. It's not electric heat. I don't know. I feel I'm getting more of a pull and flavor from it. Don't get me wrong. These things are brilliant. I've been using the same bag, a fill-in, all the accessories. As I said in a lot of my videos, they all work together. And quite frankly, I love this thing. The only reason why I haven't been using it so much is because I got that ballers. But if you are tight between them both, 100% for the price, I recommend, if you can't afford these devices as well. I couldn't for a minute. I was on a PAX. I recommend cheaper and always worse. Grab, you got the bolus thermal injector, which is what I got, 140 for the titanium, which titanium versus stainless steel, you get more flavor out of the titanium, you get faster heat on the stainless steel. So I went for titanium, and it's just a no brainer for me. Like, using that, coming from solely combustion to vapor, the difference is night and day. Like, I stopped combusting like a year ago, because these devices, not only do they save you money and they're hassle free, but it's just so easy to be ready to go. So if you get your temps down, you can either have more flavor, or you can burn off all of that instantly and just have a really strong effect, depending what you need. Oh, sorry, going into a yawn. So overall, I might have just ranted a bit more than needed there. Not ranted, spoke a bit more. But it's hard to compare them both because they're both brilliant devices. And for the peace of mind, you can't go wrong with Stores in Bickle. You get brilliant customer service, you get a great warranty, you just know that you're going to be able to get all of the accessories you need. And I can't speak more highly of a lot of these devices I got. Can only learn from them, even the devices that aren't too great. Just, I'll always say what the pros and cons are. Remote still feels new. Yeah, do you know what? These devices, they feel like there's no wear and tear. I completely agree. I've never had a case on this. I've only ever just used this, and I use this thing all the time. It's pretty much attached to me. It's a new limb, but you can see it's still in great condition. And a couple of times it has slipped off and fell. So I couldn't agree more with you there, mate. Like, these devices are built to last. Excuse me. I also feel it's one of those with these devices, you're not just paying for the brand name, you are you're paying for the quality behind it. Some products, you're just overpaying because of the name on it. But the stores in Bickle range, I find they're brilliant overall. I never use a yeah. Need a rattler. The glass bit. Yeah, I need to get a couple more accessories like that. I've been trying to get more. I've got like the main accessories for the device, but I don't have any of the like mouthpieces and whatnot. I was thinking of getting a bigger volcano bag, but I don't really see why I need it if I'm honest. Um, it was just because I saw it was bigger and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Use a water bubbler for Mighty Game Changer. Oh, what's I'm gonna have to have a little look then. What do you need to do for that? Because of the piece, is it a piece that just sits in, or do you still use your actual mouthpiece? Because I know that you can do them. I know you can attach it to a whip. I just don't know. Hit a rubber one. Because I use this piece for. You can use this piece for the Mighty and Mighty Plus. I know. But I use this for the injector because this thing's really nice. Casper, you're gonna have to show me a couple of these, mate, because I need to be getting a few of these accessories in. But it's a shame because I wanted to cover it tonight, but I've got the recommended vape supplies cage for your globes on the way. It was going to be here on Saturday, but it got delayed, so it should be Monday or Tuesday. Mate, I can't remember if this. Yeah, this is the XL one, I think. This thing's a brilliant little perk. Yeah, they are thin. This is why I was on about like the cage. This is why I didn't really use it so much for like the cage because it can easily, with the weight on the top, your stem will come here and then you've got your product here. It will tip with the arm on, and it is thin glass as you're saying. So yeah, I don't want to break it. That's why I haven't been using it as much. Just been sticking with the handheld and going from there. So that should be here Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, smash one. See, I'm more the one to smash the adapter pieces and whatnot on my glass than my actual piece itself. Because I'll sit it so far back and I'll use it like cuddling it while I'm like putting the piece on the top. I'm mad with it. But then I'll manhandle the actual like accessories. When I'm trying to get it out and it just like cracks something. Oh, that was nuts. Oh, Casper, I bet it feels good to be back, bro. Like getting all your equipment back and jumping on testing stuff. That's proper chilled out. Yeah, completely relate. Clumsiness is the reason for it, but I think that's just like a lot of us. I think we medicate and then we just forget it's there despite we've just used it. And it's like, oh. When it's on the floor and you're just looking at it, you're like, as soon as I turn it over, I just know there's going to be a crack in it. You're just kind of hoping there's not. But yeah, I got these. They're like kind of like a foam. Don't know. I got it when I got a package. I can't remember what it was, but they're like foam inserts. So I kind of carved inside of them, and I made like this. So I keep some of my glass on this and my brush. I got like different ones sat. You know, you gotta be creative sometimes. So I got enough room to put another one each side if needed. But trying to keep it all safe, you know, and then when I'm actually loading up my glass, I can kind of just do it on there. You bought an organizer. Yeah, see, I do my checkout and I'm like, oh well, I should have got that, but I don't know, kind of sometimes I quite like making these sort of things. It's a bit of fun. You know, it's only cutting a couple of holes out and your piece fits. I definitely won't be starting an Etsy store with them though. But I do need to look into a good organization thing for my other bits of glass and to keep it all safe. Oh, mate. It feels good on the evening just to be able to unwind, relax, medicate, finish the day on as much of a, you know, positive and chill. About to do a couple of pulls on the Volk before we go. Homemade bong stand. You know what? Anything sort of DIY homemade, even if it looks a bit like, you know, could be done better. Yeah, it could be, but it's homemade. So, do you know what? Talking about doing stuff like that, it makes me want to make some more sort of stuff for my. I was talking to some bowlers. How that's brilliant. I was talking to someone on Discord and he likes to do art on his device. We contracted someone and they'd done a whole art piece on the volcano, which was pretty cool. Like something like that would be really cool. Speaking of making stuff, I definitely think I need an organizer, like a proper organizing system. Let's load up. Just the noise of the bag and the whole thing kind of, I don't know what it's going to sound like, so that's why I haven't really used it on the streams. I'm pretty sure though, like we've all made some mad like contraptions in our time. I will definitely be using a new bag soon though, because I think I might have a slight hole in it. I'm not too sure, but it's been a while since I've used my bag. I like my stand for the ruby. Yeah, see, I love stuff like that. Like, or I know it might sound a bit mad, but I love all that getting stuff organized, and then if you've got kind of like a nice thing about it as well. I like to try and have as much of my stuff organized as possible. So, hey, any organization stuff you all got to do with your medical, send them my way because I'm always up for, you know, getting some good stuff going, having it all. My volcano sounds quiet. This one's the Medic 2, so I think that's the Hybrid 2. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it just says Volcano Medic 2. I got it on post it on the Discord. You can link the number. Yeah, the number thing. I'm not sure how to change that on my server. But number things just so it can see that you're a human or something. I'm not completely sure. Hey, my code will be live next week. Oh, appreciate that, bro. That'll be sweet. Yeah, I'll be putting it in the comments anyway and whatnot. The videos. But I think from seeing your short the other day, I'm gonna have to take a look at that cube because that was a nice little device with all the magnets. I quite like that instead of the screw design, because then all your bug kind of gets stuck everywhere. So I do like that. Yours is linked, just waiting for a deletion. Okay, yeah. I had I didn't even know you needed to do your number thing for a bit, because I had Discord for a while, just sat on my phone. I didn't even use it. See, this is the thing that I don't want it to get annoying that the bag's kind of moving about and rustling, so that's kind of why I haven't been using it. But I guess I could always move it slightly if that was the case. I wanted to get an actual dust cap for it, but a lot of them I found there was only one that was actually like just plain, which was what I wanted, but it was like more expensive to get it shipped. It was like from America. It was like 3D printed, and I was like, oh. So I just made one out of foil. Yeah, the crushed cube. Yeah, for sure. At the minute, I've got I need to get a new one because the company has gone bust, but I use the Hodge, which was the clip. This thing is the best slicer I've ever used because it's got inside, and then you can change how big your mesh is, and it's got actual like inside. So when I'm filling up my caps, I kind of just put the caps inside and just let it do its thing. This never goes out with me. This is just solely where it's so heavy. This is solely just my home grinder. Keep it clean. So it's slicer really, but I need to get another reliable one. And quite frankly, when you squash your bud in a grinder, it just doesn't grind quite right. I feel your buds, your flowers, got to be sliced to get the best results, whether it be an electric one or I don't know. But this one you can literally so easily like go around. It's not right now; it's a bit sticky. I need to clean it. But it's a nice bit of kit. What? Please take your good grinder. What? Why do they take Why did they take your grinder? Did you have some stuff in it, or I don't see why they take your grinder. That's mad. Maybe empty out the contents of it and then like what? But that's crazy. Why do they need to take it? Like, I'm not saying they didn't. Don't get me wrong, but that's just crazy to me. Like, did they? I don't know. I'm just trying to work out if they'd actually like have a proper reason, I guess. So that's so backwards. That's pretty crazy. So they took a device used to prepare your medical product. That that's crazy. I mean, yeah, they as you said, Stav, it must have been a good one. They must have been eyeing one up for a while. Maybe Casper should have told him to use Casper 10. But that's just crazy to me. I the thing is, it doesn't make sense. So that's funny. Like, it's not funny because that sucks, but that's just so kind of backwards logic, you know? Yeah, exactly. Can't explain it. So you're gonna give me back everything but the thing I need to prepare my medication. Yeah, just that's so strange. Yeah, I've definitely got a hole in the bag. Gotta change that. That's cool though. I haven't used this thing in quite a while. It's just a little, yeah, it's a small little nick. Is par right? Yeah, but it's paraphernalia. But a glass piece is called a bong, but you can use it for your medication. The thing is, um, yeah, the Mighty's approved as long as, yeah, but there wouldn't be, there would never be. Surely there would never be a medical approved grinder because you know there just wouldn't be, right? So yeah, I get it. I do get that way of seeing it, but I don't, because you can use them grinders to grind up lavender, sage, rosemary, cumin, like anything. You can literally grind anything up with that. So the fact that they give you back everything else when they're so in the dark about medical cannabis as a whole, it just doesn't logically make sense. Like, uh, yeah, that's what I mean. It doesn't. Yeah, it must. As Stav said, we'll go back to it. It must have been a nice one. They probably like wanted it. I've heard it's a bit of a strange one that there's not more awareness for law enforcement as a whole, when you know there should be at this point, if we're talking real right now, and we're leveling. It's not, it doesn't take a lot of research and development to prove that this country has been using it for X amount of years. Like, I don't get how they don't know it already. Yeah, which one was it? It's probably like a new 10 piece that they're going to try and patent. I've got, no word of a lie, I've got my grinder. I've had it for like 5 and a bit years at this point. I've got it at the bottom of my bag that I take out with me, and that's my on the go daily grinder. I don't ever actually use. I don't ever, because I've always got it all prepped when I'm out, but still got it. That's been with me for so many years at this point. So like, if that one was ever took off me, I kind of be gutted because of like the, like, you know, of having it for so long. And it's like, at that point you're like, no, that's my grinder. You know. But that one, I can't even remember where I got that one from. It was like £40 hand. We had a handle. Remember where we got it. I know that there's a few mills like that, that you twist like the handle on the top. They're on Amazon. There's a few of them. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those. It's like, that's my grinder. Like, you take care of it, and then for it to just be took from you, got in. That's really bloody gutting. But I feel there definitely needs to be more awareness in community to community, because there's been this poll by Leafly, I believe, that says there's something like 60 or something percent of officers believe cannabis has been decriminalized. But what could be misjudged by that is people thinking, oh well, you know, it's cool then. But no, it's at the discretion of the officer how lenient they want to be with it. So I feel people don't need to be getting misguided, because the problem is we're trying to move forward with getting this medication with more awareness to it. You know, there's still so many people who don't know that this is actually a thing. It's been around since 2018, you know? So come on. And I completely agree, Stoner. It doesn't feel like it. There needs to be a lot of educational backed stuff going on, and it needs to start with the law enforcement and the protectors of each community. So until they understand it, whether that be fire, ambulance, you know, police, just even social workers, that sort of thing, just people in general who work around the public sector a lot, I feel could be, you know, understanding this a lot more. I'm not saying everybody's in the dark, but I'm just saying there's just not enough resources and time put into educating the right people about medical and the impact it's having on day-to-day lives of people. So I really hope at some point we could kind of get to more of that. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's true, Stoner. I've read a lot about what you've just said, um, about people, getting admitted into hospital, or going to the GP and they just simply even write it up wrong. You got, if you're having issues, that needs to be known as your medication. So it's a difficult one. There's a lot of issues behind it, and hopefully all of us as a collective can make a more positive impact on the image of medical cannabis as a whole. But these people that are in the public all the time, I feel, need to understand it a bit more. And that's not, when they have an issue or they're skeptical about it, that isn't on them. To a lot of people in the UK, it's an illegal thing, but it's not medically. So it's just about the educational aspect, really. um and and that's just all we could hope for. Yeah, I think London's a bit more understanding of it because they've they've kind of had cannabis in the limelight for so long, haven't they? In London area. Yeah, that's another thing. The guidelines and whatnot, and I think the CDR Futures website is down or something. So some people are struggling to get the link to your rights medicating outdoors, and in public establishments. Because outdoors, also in some areas, you can medicate outdoors. You can um, do all that, but you're exempt using a medical device and whatnot within reason, respectfully. I always say that because despite, yes, you have the right to do that, I always feel the people around you matter as well. And you just got to keep that in mind. I'd never want to make anyone feel uncomfortable and stuff. So the one thing that is a shame is that, yeah, it's just education. Like as you said, policies, venues you got, and a lot of these places don't outline what it's like. It's the same with if you try and find out information around medical in the UK, no matter what you're looking for, whether it will be personal health or, you know, um, renting somewhere, just they're two completely different things, but it's hard to find information about them. Do you see what I'm getting at? So the information isn't available to new patients coming in, and I think this is why it's important for anybody with the information and knowledge to share it, because it can be very daunting when you first become a patient and learning about all this, what you can do, how you go about different things. It's crazy, really. It adds another level of responsibility. But I couldn't be more thankful for actually getting a medication that helps. I've been on all sorts of different things throughout my life, and it's not been as effective as this has been. So that's really huge for me. Let's catch up. I know Son of the Moon Churchill. I know he goes to a lot of different venues, and there's a few people who also post about venues that particularly like to contact them and find out on behalf. So if you're not in any of the discords, I suggest jumping in them. You can find out some friendly venues, and maybe even talk to some others, get some good letters going. I work for NHS Teesside, Scotland. So negative. So much information. It's over hearts, not to promote it. Yeah, this is the problem. There's a lot of worry because it's uncontrolled, and looking at a lot of the news articles, especially YouTube itself, quite big pushing it, like the GB News, the Talk News. They just talk about basically where it stands a minute with medical, and where it's unlicensed and it's got to go through private, and the NHS just haven't got their own R&D on it, on the medication, and can't say, right, this is going to do this, and this, and this is the dose for this, and this, because that's not what it's like. This medication, it will never be that. It can't be that. Everybody's different, a different dose for everybody. That's why I document, and I say to everyone, document, because you can work out what works for you, the right dose, like even down to the temperatures you use on that medication. You can work everything out to try and get the best out of your day to day. So until that is more widely accepted, I actually don't think the healthcare industry are going to open up to that. So, Chicken, I'm completely understanding what you're saying, and it's quite mad considering that is what medication is. It's just based off of research and years of understanding. So the fact that the thought process of a lot of people in these fields are quite narrow-minded. I'm not saying everybody, don't get me wrong, but there's quite a lot of narrow-mindedness. Charge is going. I'm not sure because I've got to plug in. There we go. Let's plug in the iPad. Still. The streams all. I can't at the same time. Yeah. Streamlabs or the don't like that. That should be better. Yeah. I'm gonna have to find a way to get some charge in this thing because it was on 100% before I started streaming. I've been going for an hour and like 35, something like that. Yeah. So I will have to love you and leave you in a minute before the iPad completely drops out. But as I said, I'll be going live every Wednesday, Sunday. If anything changes, I'll put it in the Discord or on my community bit. But I'm really enjoying having a chat with you all. I'd like to get all these settings finalized and all that because I don't want it to die midstream of chatting with any of you. And I want to get some of you all on and work something out on how that works. So that'll be a really nice chat and chill. We can all talk about we can vent or just talk about what we've been up to. Just have a chill out. Thank you, Chicken. I really appreciate that. But I think we will finish this one, load up another bag. We'll go because I haven't got a lot of flavor in this one. I don't want to chuck them under the bus, but this is the banana sherbet, and it's unfortunate. Thank you all for being here. Like, it's great to hear all your inputs as well because it's nice that we can all just chat about different things, whether it be just about the way that our quality's going with the medication or how mute something is, just to talking about how our day's been. It's really nice to sit and have a chat with you all. So I appreciate you all being here, taking the time out of your evening. Like, thank you, really. It's not. I think we've worked out though. Like, that's a nice time, about an hour before stream, get the lava lamp going, and about 5-10 minutes in, it starts getting there. So by the end, we've got a good vibe on it. We've got to work out where that hole is in the bag. It's like around here or something. All right, that'll be that. I do like the volcano for sure. I want to maybe do like a little comparison between the volcano and the thermal twist. Because they are quite different, but putting up flavor versus flavor, you know, um, throat hit. Because ultimately, um, it doesn't matter about the effects. It all matters about the quality of the actual product that we're all getting. You know, effects are subjective. So, um, I I I have been working on new graphical style for like the ratings and whatnot. So that will be upcoming. Just trying to make everything look a bit more sleek. New year, get things just a bit more categorized. As I mentioned in the New Year video. So thank you all for bearing with me on that. Um, but yeah, we're getting all that sorted. This one just, it's such a shame because the flavor is so subtle, but it could be so flavorful, you know. But it's just, I feel like it's just sat a bit too long. But we have already gone into that. Um, do you know what? I just got a message from Harrison. I completely forgot to post a link in one of the chats, and he just asked if I ended up going live. Oh, it's how forgetful I am. Like, I was in such a rush as well. Like, I come back, I put the lava lamp on, jumped in, set up all the title and whatnot, and then like just sat down and got on. But that's what I was chatting about at the start. I want to work out how to actually get like a link set up prior so I can get it all um set up so it's a lot quicker and easier in that sense. Yo, vibes. I completely forgot to post a link in a couple of places. I got the okay to do it, but I was just such a rush and getting stuff done. So I'm gonna look into how to premiere these streams so I can already have that stuff set up. But all a learning curve. Yeah, doing its job. We're unwinding. It's been a long day, and it's starting to get heavy rain. Yesterday, that I was stuck in the snow, like a journey, an hour drive turned into a 3.5 hour journey back. It was really bad. My car just was stuck on the hills. Somebody ended up having to tow me. I was supposed to be back home at like 8 in the evening. I was back at like coming up to 11 o'clock. So it was mad. Um, I should have planned my trip better, but I had to do it. So I'm still recovering from that. I didn't get the best of sleep with that, and I was up early again. So we're just at that stage. But everyone, it's been lovely chatting. I will be live, as I said, Wednesday, Sunday. Videos are going to be every 5 days. If you all think of anything that I could cover, or as I said, background stuff, any feedback, it's all appreciated, and I take it all into account. I really respect that. Actually, I just want to do better, get the best content out there, straight to the point, informative, and these chats then are a bit more laid back. We can just talk about whatever and chill out. So thank you all, everyone, for being with me again tonight, taking the time out. Hope you're staying well, safe, and medicated. And I will see you all soon. See you later, chicken. Thank you all so much again. Thanks, Stav, King. Take care, everyone. Good vibes. Hope you got your good meds in. And we will talk again soon. See you later, everyone.